Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD, a show in which a bunch of Australians play Dungeons & Dragons in a setting partly inspired by Australia and New Zealand in prehistoric times. I am David, I'm the Dungeon Master. I am joined by Kynwyn, Doug and Zindi. April is not with us at the moment. She is currently fighting an epic duel with anthropomorphic Melbourne trains. And we hope she will be joining us later in this episode, probably after the break. So we'll be dealing with Orsi in just a moment. Now, our heroes are in Heron's Perch. This is the new colonial settlement, basically capital of the Kingdom of Talras in the Wandering Isles. While there, they've there's been too much going on to really sum it all up, but the key points are they are now fairly certain that the newly self-appointed governor of the town, who is actually also the princess of the kingdom, is also a vampire and is quite possibly in the process of taking over, conquering Heron's Perch, making it her own little lair on the far side of the world. Our heroes have been alerted to something odd going on with the princess by the captain of the Heron Guard, the princess's personal royal bodyguard, who had suspicions but was more concerned about whether this was the real princess, was concerned that there might have been a doppelganger or something like that, pretending to be the princess. Our heroes, having discovered what they believe to be the truth, saw fit to send a message to Captain Turn, warning him that he might be in danger because they used a scry spell to listen in on one Cover Fen. Wow, there is so much backstory to this incident. A really bad person who they don't like, who is working apparently with the princess and goading her into basically helping her in this apparent coup, though it's not really a coup because she's already in charge and she's a princess, so she kind of, it's her position anyway. So the last thing that happened in the last episode was they sent Captain Turn a message, and after asking whether it had to be right now because something was happening, he eventually just said, "I will try." And that is where we left our heroes, in the Grumpy Swallow Tavern, hoping to see Captain Turn as soon as possible. Moments after, Orsi relays Captain Turn's reply to you, and makes some snide comment about it. There is a flash of white as a albino ferret called Melville suddenly rushes up with a little slip of a note in its mouth and spits it at Orsi. Orsi reads it and says something along the lines of, if you excuse me, I have to go. There's, I'll be at the library. And he rushes off with the Melville, the familiar, on his shoulder. So it is now just the three of you in the tavern waiting for Captain Turn, while Orsi attends to something apparently important.
Wonder if there's something important involves smooching behind a bookshelf.
Almost certainly, right?
I mean, do you think they've ever kissed before, or is this just like a decades-long, I'm not going to tell you that I like you, mutual thing?
I know.
There's a lot of tension there, right?
There's
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't really have a frame of reference for knowing anyone for more than about a week and a half. Except you guys, of course, now, and apparently, Ezid, but that's fine.
We have known him for a while.
We have. It's true. So, this sort of long-running thing is just I don't get it.
Oh, well, I'm used to watching dwarves flirt, and honestly, it's a lot more upfront and unsubtle.
That seems fair.
So, I don't know. Anyway.
So, how long are you going to wait for Captain Turn? Knowing that if he were to come straight to you, it'd probably take maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, 5 to 10
I mean,
minutes, I suppose.
he was in the middle of something. He was at work. It takes a while to get away from work, even when your boss isn't a terrifying vampire queen, right?
True. Yeah, I would imagine probably around the 20 to half an hour mark, Vitoricus would start getting fidgety. Like,
Okay.
is he coming? What are we doing here?
Yeah, so 20 minutes have passed so far and he has not arrived.
We have lost David.
I am back. I don't know what happened just then.
You froze.
Yeah.
You did.
Or you were in deep sudden thought mid-sentence.
So,
which
yes, you all froze from my perspective, so I missed whatever was said in that short period. But 20 minutes have
it
passed.
was mostly discussing a mutual freezing.
Yeah. Okay, 20 minutes have passed while you wait, and Captain Turn has not arrived yet.
I'm thinking that the thing that was happening, that he said was happening, is probably the thing that's going to try and kill him.
All right, let's go
Maybe
get
we
him.
should have been more explicit when we messaged him, and instead of being like, your life is in danger, we should have been like, the princess is gonna fucking eat you. I feel like we need to get clearer with our messaging people,
Our
maybe.
communications.
Yes. I mean, we can go to the palace, right? Orsi isn't with us, and Orsi is the only one who's banned.
Correct.
That's true. We're technically allowed on the grounds for now.
Said, if the guard fellow hasn't turned up, is there not like a strong argument that maybe there's a small bloodbath over there?
Yeah, well,
Well, they can't be too bloodthirsty, right? Because they've still got to be entertaining there in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe she just killed him a little bit.
I mean, it did sort of sound like they was planning on killing him just a bit.
One moment, my dog has stolen some bubble wrap. Keep talking.
Didn't know you had dogs.
Well, surely she could just turn the guard captain, right?
I don't know how that works.
Don't need to kill him, just got to turn him.
Oh, like he could be a vampire as well?
Do we know if she actually killed the fox fella?
Well, or thrall him at least, right? Like,
particularly
not turn him into a vampire, but thrall him at least.
I'll get
was just hanging out in the...
I'll get history or arcana checks into the question of how does thralldom work.
Let me see. I don't think I have
14 from
either of those,
Vitoricus.
but hang on a sec. Where's my tabletop folder? I'm over here. Hang on a minute.
Now, I'm not saying it would be funny if Turn got turned, but it would be
Mozart, get on me screen.
appropriate.
What are we rolling?
History or arcana?
History or arcana.
Alright, I got a -1 on arcana and a -1 on history. Let's go for history. Yeah, that's a 9.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, Dags, you can give me arcana on not arcana, history on this. Because of the
Because I read so many romance novels.
Exactly. There might be some truth in some of those. You never know.
Excellent. Let's find my history bitty. I am not proficient in history. +1. Let's go. No, it's a 2.
No.
Which is a 3.
Okay, Vitoricus.
We're a real brains trust right now.
We've lost our intelligence score.
Vitoricus, you're the only one who really has any insight into this. It is said, you can't be absolutely certain that it's true, it is said that in order to become a true thrall or, of a vampire, there needs to have been some willingness in the first place. You can't be turned against your will. But there are also plenty of stories of people being considered the victims after being turned into vampires because it was done against their will. So who's to say which is the true story?
Yeah. Okay, cool. But either way, even like I could see a situation in which Tern is duped into thralldom out of loyalty to the crown, and or just entirely killed and drained of blood. One or the other. Either way, we lose our only ally in the palace if he's gone.
We could go in and pretend that we don't know anything about vampires. I mean, we could be visiting the palace for like so many things that aren't vampire related.
This is kind of my thought, right? We could split the party further, and I could go and be a distraction while you and Morzod head down to the guard post, and that would be entirely fine.
I don't know if you should be alone in a palace with vampires. We don't know how many are in there.
Especially since you've just demonstrated that you're into that.
Yeah, and also you're so soft and spongy.
Well, but I won't be alone, will I? I am protected.
What?
By what?
By the great and mighty power of Fethwit.
I'm not sure that I would consider your status with him protected.
Yeah.
At the very least, I would be another vampire, and I would be a really annoying vampire. So
actually,
there's a vested interest in not getting me turned.
Yeah, probably if he stopped to think about it, he'd be like, no, actually, that would be the worst person to be a vampire.
Right?
But it does make a certain kind of logic.
Yeah, but I don't think you should depend on that as a thing to
No,
save you.
I'm not. But absolute worst case scenario, I can always just ask him to step in and lend a hand if needed. But I'm really not expecting it to come to that. We're just chatting, right?
Okay.
I am a visitor from Providence, and I'm here to see the ruler of Heron's Perch.
Vitericus.
Can you imagine if April gets back and we're all dead?
Yep.
That gif of walking
For
in with
viewers,
Jesus.
for the viewers, I did tell the players it might be best to avoid rushing headfirst into combat before they get their wizard back. Vitericus, because your passive perception is basically an affront to the gods, you see...
Not to find a point on it.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see a man enter the Grumpy Swallow coming through the front door in very much incognito, please don't recognize me outfit, which would probably work on most people. But you're Vitericus. You can see somebody, you can identify that somebody is trying not to be noticed. So there's a cloak with the hood up, and you can't tell whether this is Captain Tern or not because there is not enough of him visible, but he has all the catchings of somebody who is trying not to be identified.
Wonderful. I will very quickly elbow Morzod in the side then and say, Morzod, give us a real loud joke, something attention grabbing.
Oh my god. I come up with...
Apologies, Indy doesn't have to come up with a joke on the spot. That is more an attention grabbing.
Cindy is trying to think of a joke that would be appropriate. Because I got plenty of inappropriate ones.
I feel like an inappropriate one would get some attention. Does Morzod do any orc poetry?
Orc poetry? Now I'm just going to Google that and see what I find because I'm hang on.
Nothing copyrighted, please.
Orc poetry.
There was a young woman from Orgrimmar.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Twitter called Orc Poetry.
Okay, you can, if you want.
I feel like, okay, so Morzod tells a joke, and it's absolutely hilarious, and nobody I think is old enough to get the joke that the meta joke that I'm making here, but it ends with Morzod going, and now we can all get some sleep, and everybody laughs.
Okay, give me a performance check, please.
Yeah, okay.
Wonderful. Can I help by laughing uproariously?
Performance.
Give me a performance check,
go.
Vitericus.
Holy shit! That is a terrible fucking roll. That's a 9. I should get big distraction because that was such a terrible joke.
I rolled a 6, but it's an
Comes
18.
down crickets.
I will say that Vitericus's also rather poor roll, despite his plus 12 bonus, does actually... All right, Morzod, you can roll again.
All right, thank you. I'm probably going to do just as bad just because I've been given that, but we'll try again, see how we go. I picked up some new dice, and I know that's not how it works, but yeah, no, that's not much better. That's a 16.
A 16 is a lot better than a 9, though.
It's true.
16 is attention grabbing, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's over halfway. What do you want?
You've certainly got the attention of everybody in the tavern. Only about half of them offer any laughter, and you think less than half of those who laugh are actually genuine in it.
They might just be confused. Also, it doesn't make a lot of sense at the best of times.
The hooded stranger has definitely seen the three of you, and now moves over and takes a seat at the table next to yours, and is currently doing the whole Strider thing, looking very dark and broody.
Nice cowl. What are you trying to look like, a secret agent?
Magma is going to lean over to Vitericus and whisper very quietly, "Check his snap."
So Vitericus, did you say that out loud to him?
I did.
Okay. Head will turn towards you and say, "Can we not do this here?" And you recognize Captain Turn's voice.
Wonderful. All right. Well, yes. Let's... Did you have somewhere else in mind? We have a place.
Is it private?
Yeah,
Right.
pretty private.
Let's go.
There is a door.
To Scryer's Alley.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Okay.
It's our business alley.
Yeah, exactly. This is where we do our business.
I love it.
Let me do a quick roll.
Is it occupied?
Yes, it is. That's what I was rolling for. You get there and you actually find there are a couple of kids. There is a
Oh god, they're necking.
tiefling child and a looks like a halfling kid, probably about 10, 11 years old. And they are rolling dice in this alley.
What a weird thing to spend your time doing.
Right? Kids these days.
Fun.
Okay.
Anyone else tempted to yell, "Oi, piss off, kids, this is our alley"?
Plan B. I feel like we should go back to your notes.
All right, fine.
Okay.
Back to nods then, I guess.
So
Let's go to the bathhouse.
Yeah.
All right, but that is, yeah. I approve of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's not take this man into our private room.
Okay, yeah, Captain Turn will agree and will follow you into the bathhouse. Is the bathhouse
Is it
currently
currently
occupied?
daytime or is it night?
It is daytime. It is, I believe it's early afternoon now.
Wasn't it sort of
How
getting
big
into
is his
evening?
cowl? Is it covering his whole face? Can we see any of his
Mid to late
skin being
afternoon, I can't
touched
remember
by
exactly.
daylight?
I thought we were getting into evening.
You were talking about him coming at sundown, but then realized that might be a bad idea, so you changed it to
Right,
as soon
yes,
as
we
possible.
sped it up.
Right,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
right.
His cowl is it is very much sort of showing about this much and not revealing his eyes when the sun is out. He almost stands out as the hooded stranger. But at the same time, he would be difficult for anyone to recognize unless they got really close and tried to peek under the cowl.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the bathhouse is unoccupied. There is nobody else in there, so you're able to have a conversation in private. And he looks around and says, where's the other one? The other two?
Oh, he
There were
had some
two of
stuff
you.
to do.
Yeah, they're busy doing stuff.
Are they all right?
Yeah.
We think so, probably.
That depends on all right. I mean, you know,
I suppose
physically,
they-
probably. Emotionally, it's a little
sad.
bit confusing, but
It's
you know.
true.
And I mean, relationally, who knows?
We're not making any assumptions, is what.
Okay.
Spiritually, meh.
Well, just before your friend messaged me, the princess and and Crestus, they arrested one of my guards. They didn't say anything more other than they needed to ask him some questions. And this is one of the few men I knew shared my concerns.
That adds up. First of all, is it illegal to scry on a princess?
He says, absolutely.
Right, well, that's not something we've done, however.
He adds, assuming it is the princess.
Well, yeah.
We have good news and also not great news.
All right.
Wait, I got it. So we wasn't scrying on a princess, but we did happen to scry at least a little bit on our friend that we don't like, the Talthian, who happened to be talking to someone who we don't know who it was, and it was certainly not illegal, whoever it was, about getting rid of everyone that they don't trust.
He says, okay, I need you to stop dancing around the issue here. So you're saying you did scry on the princess, but not directly.
We scryed on who was
someone
talking.
who happened to be with the princess at the time.
Overfen
But
is in
but
Her
we
Royal
didn't
Highness's
know
ear.
that.
Yeah, they
Yes.
was having a chat, and so it happened to be that the person that we were scrying on was having a chat with the princess. Well, I mean, who we thought was the princess, but anyways, they was Kofen was basically encouraging the princess to clean house and get rid of anyone that she don't trust, and so it kind of matches up with what you've been saying, which is why we told you to get out of there, because
Yeah, we sort of thought that you were probably on the list.
I see. What is she trying to achieve? I mean,
I think
Kova Fen, what does she want?
Oh, we have
know
no
what she
idea.
wants.
That lady is
We
crazy.
don't.
She's had half her face burnt off. We do not
Yeah.
know what she's doing.
she hates
aside from-
Vitericus.
Aside from lots of people hate Ptericus. But we can tell that she's up to no good, is what?
DM,
Yeah.
as we're talking, has Captain Turn taken his cowl off?
Yeah.
Yes, he has pulled it back.
Okay. And there's no bite marks, there's no, like, glazing of the eyes that would suggest that he's been enthralled.
Give me
Is he wearing a gorget?
perception check,
Actually, yeah. Has he
please.
got a choker on?
That is a natural 20 for a 31.
There is no sign of a bite mark, no sign of his eyes glazing over. He looks anxious, very anxious. But you think he probably has many very good reasons to be.
Yes, fair.
He's having
Wonderful.
a tough
All right. Well,
week.
I'm a bit more confident to give him probably slightly more information then in terms of, Kova Fen has tried to take Providence in the past, is likely still on that particular train
Some
or
kind of
carriage or
world
boat
domination.
on that particular ship, perhaps? I don't know that we have trains in
that
Valdra.
particular.
Yeah, that'd be
No,
all-
I don't think we've
rotation circle.
industrialized.
Yeah, you'd have trains. They're wagon trains.
Yes,
That's where,
yes, sorry.
that's
you are
where
right.
the word comes
Mhm.
from. It's a
Yes,
train
yes.
of things. It's basically a series of things being pulled.
Yes, so she's still on that particular, warpath, and I imagine she's going to use Her Royal Highness to do it now that she's failed to do it on her own.
Actually, yeah, having a princess would certainly make it a lot easier to do the domination thing.
Especially when the princess is a...
Well,
Is a what? What are you saying?
We have some thoughts, but we need to confirm some things before we're willing to share that. There is some concern about her identity, as you yourself have picked up,
we
but
think
we don't
that
have
she's
anything
definitely
concrete.
the princess, but with caveats.
Okay, please, I need you to explain this to me.
Do you remember that guy in the fox mask at the masquerade ball?
Yes, he. I was told he made advances on the princess in private, and was put in a cell to cool off, as it were.
Yeah,
we
have you
saw
seen him in
a
that cell recently?
No, not today.
Mm.
There you go. Okay. Cool. Did you see him yesterday?
Just trying to. Yesterday was the day of the masquerade, I think. It hasn't
That's
been
true.
long.
Sorry,
Right.
yesterday
Yeah.
evening.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
in the evening.
Yeah, and he's going to say, he's going to explain that he saw the guy in the dungeon at the same time that all you were. But after you were released and he spent some time upstairs, the next time he went down there, the fox guy was no longer there. Had apparently been released, but he doesn't know the details.
Wonderful. When you saw him downstairs, did he look a little pale? Exsanguinated?
Says he didn't seem well, if that's what you're saying.
Yes, that would make sense. Now, I'm going to need some kind of ironclad guarantee you're not going to try and arrest/kill us for mentioning this.
He says, I can't make that guarantee without knowing what you're going to say, you understand?
I do, but that does also mean that I can't say it unless I have irrefutable proof.
He says,
I mean, you can sort of say we've got suspicions, I suppose.
he says,
We have theories.
I can promise, I can guarantee that I will not harm you or take action or arrest you for saying anything, for voicing any suspicions that you have, as long as you genuinely believe those suspicions. You know,
Which we do.
if you do anything to try and trick me, if you lie to me, if you are trying to do anything to harm a member of the royal family or their representative, then we might have a problem.
Well, we're
Yep.
not about to say that we're planning anything. We just got ideas.
Because we
No.
definitely aren't. We have zero plans. We frankly don't know what to do about the situation.
Then what is the situation? And maybe I can help.
She's a vampire, dude.
He just stares straight at Dagmar for
Allegedly, theoretically,
10
we
seconds.
think.
He blinks several times.
Can we do a brief fade to black and present all of our points of probably why?
Sure. Yep.
We showed the flow chart.
Yeah.
So
Also
I've
comes
got
back from the
some-
library briefly. Look at the books.
I'll get persuasion, please.
From Dagsy?
Yeah.
Pretty- From
Yes, I am proficient in
Yeah,
that.
with advantage because you are being helped.
and we do have a lot
Okay,
of
so-
points, really.
First one
Yeah.
is 15. And the other one is, okay, so 15, I think.
Yes, because you're minimum
Yeah, it
10
does
on
the thing where
all
it
your
goes up
proficiency
to-
things. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
You got any
15.
bardics or anything?
I do have a bardic inspiration, I guess, that I could give you.
That would be retroactive. I think she's taken her hand off the chess piece.
No,
Yeah.
I'll
I
allow
have
it.
definitely.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
I
this
might-
is something that's playing out over time. It's not something you've just, spoken or role played. Let's work it all out. You
Cool, all right,
would
well-
have had time to think this thing through if you were playing out the whole conversation.
I'll give
Okay,
you
so what does
bardic,
the
and
bardic
I'll so you add a d10, and I'll also cast guidance. So a figure erupts from my cards and holds a book briefly while you're explaining something and sort of points to helpful diagrams and stuff.
I don't think
Oh,
that's
that's
so you get-
sweet.
An extra d10 and an extra d4.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so is that 2 extra d10s or just the 1 extra
No,
d10?
1 extra d10 and 1 extra d4.
Okay, 1 d10, 1 d4. Roll. Okay, so that's 7, and then add that to the 15,
So it's
which
22.
is... Hey!
And
That's a good number. We
that's
like that.
good because 15 might not have
High,
been
high
enough.
I was
persuasion,
going to
yeah.
say, that's a pretty tough one that we're
Yeah.
trying to sell there.
Okay.
Proficient, but only +5.
So you finish spelling it out. He's asked a number of questions. He's asked for clarification on every point as you go through. And by the end, he eventually says, I don't know what to do.
Shit. yeah,
Yeah.
us either.
Welcome to the dilemma.
We're really not, we've got, the evidence is pretty clear, we think. But, yeah, what to do with that?
We're
Allow
not
me-
committing treason or anything, but we are concerned.
Allow me
Very-
to present a potential path forwards. We have access, I believe, I would need to confirm, but I believe we have access to a true resurrection spell between the academy and some personal contacts and those sorts of things. So we could end the curse of vampirism by ending the vampire and then resurrect her Royal Highness.
Give
Where is he
me,
on
give
the
me an
screen?
insight check, please, Vatericus.
Certainly. Oh, second nat 20 of the night for a 31.
Good grief. When you said ending the vampire, you saw him blink. And
Get alarmed.
given that he is very hard to read, his job has very much revolved around being stoic and not showing expression.
Poker face.
That blink was enough, was a tell from him that the thought of killing his princess is a
Yeah,
gut punch to him. And you're not sure that you're not sure that he is on board with that idea yet, but he's going to say, are you sure that would work?
Vampiric lore is notoriously hazy and centered in folklore and all that sort of thing, but it does seem to be one of the only ways to remove the curse, according to whatever text we've been able to recover from pre-cataclysm eras.
So you're not certain. You're proposing, and you can see he's doing his level best to keep his voice down, but he is really tempted to raise his voice.
Struggling. Yeah.
You're proposing that we that we end
Yeah.
that we end a life because we might be able to restore them to what they were beforehand.
Well, no, because we're not at proposing yet. We're spitballing. Nothing has gotten to the part where we think that this is.
I did say we had more work to do. That is part of the more work, confirming the presence of the curse and the possibility of removing it via a method.
We're mostly like updating you and kind of warning you not to die. Take precautions.
And he
garlic.
Had,
garlic is great.
He had the major domo, Crestus.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a major dickhead.
Could he be enthralled?
He could be just doing it out of his own, the badness of his own heart.
He's not enthralled, but he knows that she is afflicted.
So he's part of this.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Like a wingman, but for blood.
That sounds like the title of something right there. Are you writing a novel in the background?
Not me, but Dags has definitely read that. But yes, actually, side note, I am writing a vampire novel.
Can't wait.
He says, who else knows about this?
I think yours is the first that we told about it. I mean, so far.
Actually, no. We told one very high level wizard who will definitely not tell anyone else because he thought we were idiots.
Oh yeah, I guess that does count. Eh?
Actually, more he thought Orsi was an idiot, or he sort of didn't notice we were there.
No, he thought we was idiots.
Yeah, no, true. It's more of like a domestic conflict, like so you don't have to worry.
There is one
about
other person you've told, as a reminder.
There is one other person we've told. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. We can't talk about him.
Okay. And he says,
actually, no, it's fine. Like we consulted a priest of Fey Northwind because he's an
in general terms.
Cham.
he says, followers of Fey Northwind were, as I recall, in the old days, many of them were renowned to be vampire hunters.
He didn't think we were an idiot. Well, he did, but he also believed us.
He thinks we're idiots too, but he does agree with our suspicions.
Yes, he co-signed.
He's been noticing things as well, he said.
May I meet this priest?
Probably. Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's fine. He's he's a lawyer. You might have already met him. What's his name?
Bethweir.
Bethweir. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He used to come on occasion to the palace when the truth of
we heard he was banned.
Yeah.
Yes. That.
Which, being priest of light and sunshine and stuff, kind of plays into exactly what he's talking about.
That also adds up, yes.
Yeah, well, he said the exact same thing when we brought this theory to him.
We did sort of laugh a bit when he said he was banned too, though, because that's just,
Yeah, God, savage. Banning a priest.
Right?
Turbulent priests are known for requiring removal.
Does Fethweir have any plans? Any idea how to?
Well, where his plan? He sent us off to do more research.
Well, yeah, that was before we'd gone to look up exactly what was going on, but we got more information now.
You've told me you've got nothing. You've got no ideas.
Well, not
we've
fair
got
to proceed.
Confirmation.
We've got information that strongly implies that we probably should do something, but we're not up to the something stage yet.
And to be fair, we only found that information a couple of hours ago. It takes a while to make a plan about how you're going to deal with a vampiric princess.
I don't think very fast, I'm not going to lie.
Me either, and there's not a lot of precedent.
And I'm known for thinking too fast, so we sort of really have to balance out where we're at here and reach a happy medium
Yeah.
before we
would
decide on
like,
the course of action.
We would like, ideally, for this not to escalate into a whole thing. But
We've got
Kova
a
Fen is
feeling-
there,
Yeah.
and she has a real tendency to turn things into very big
things.
things.
Yes,
Yeah.
speaking of, I would like to drive a
Gigantic
wedge between the princess and the Ascended at some
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah,
Right now they are besties.
having them be friends is absolutely not a good idea.
He says,
No one benefits from that.
I've seen the Ascended in the palace from time to time. I have seen her occasionally speaking to the princess. I was not aware the depths of whatever their relationship might be. Certainly there's no formal alliance between the kingdom and the ascendancy.
I mean, good.
So,
That would be.
It
You know,
doesn't
it'd
have
be
to be
bad.
out here, though.
but if you see a terrible thought cross his mind, and he says, if Kova Fen is conspiring against the kingdom, then the princess could be an accomplice to treason.
Yeah, it's bad all the way
Right.
down.
Does treason cancel out treason? Just
I
wondering.
don't think two treasons make a non-treason, no.
Are we sure?
You
Preventive
would have
treason?
to talk to a lawyer.
Oh yeah, no, yes. Yeah.
He says, I know how to find Fethwe. Best we not be seen together for the time being. Have your
So is you going to go talk to him?
have your wizard contact me again if you have any new information. Otherwise, I will find you if I have anything new. I'll go to speak to Fethwe.
Don't tell him that we sent you, because he probably won't appreciate that.
Then,
I mean, don't tell him straight up. Like,
how will
go see him first and then let him know.
You may have
Yeah.
independent concerns that Her Royal Highness may or may not be a vampire, and you would like to discuss them with someone who, in theory, is notorious for hunting them.
Please don't make light of this.
No, legitimately, it's a good way to avoid having us blow up his spot. Although, having said that, I don't think that he'd be terribly upset to have an ally in the castle, so you can tell him that we sent you.
Just
unless...
don't open with our names. He'll roll his eyeballs out his head, is what?
Yeah, well, yes, that is a problem. Unless you're planning to kill him to, protect
What?
Her Royal
Hey!
Highness, in which case, don't mention our names.
Also, please don't kill him. That would be so rude.
He says, the way your minds work. I'll go and see him.
Yeah.
I'll go and see him now, but I need to return to the palace soon before my absence becomes a talking point.
Maybe
Yes,
buy yourself a nice gorget.
Speaking of, what's the situation at the palace? I assume it's not a, charnel house with wall-to-wall blood spatter and arterial spray. I assume it is still, in fact, the palace, much as it has always been.
It was when I came here.
Wonderful.
Things escalate quickly. That's something I've
Is the
learned.
princess accepting or seeing people?
Not today, yet, at least.
Perhaps
Keep
I should
an
seek
eye out
audience.
for, sudden changes in policy, I reckon.
It's not uncommon for, from time to time, the governor would cancel all petitions for a day if he needed to rest or recover or was unwell. I understand the princess. Well, my understanding was that the princess was spent and is dealing with an illness, and therefore cancelled all petitions for today. But
Odds on it's anemia.
gods, it could be so much worse, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Would be.
I'll speak to Fethwe and be in touch.
Right.
Pray, all of you, be careful.
And you as
Yes,
well, friend.
yes.
and with that he stands, he pulls his hood back up and
Puts his pants back on.
leaves.
I love him being in a full cape in a schwitzing room.
Yeah, he was not at all comfortable with the idea of disrobing any more than revealing his head.
That's fair.
Imagine the rest of us are all in our underpants. Just
Oh, yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah,
Mozart
Antipode's
is
in the bar,
absolutely in,
100%.
like,
He's been
board
like
shorts.
arms on the side, just talking the whole time.
Yeah, that's how
Dagmar's in
Mozart-
her inflatable flamingo.
Oh my god, yes, perfect.
Okay, so
Drifting by with a mojito.
what's next? You've pointed the captain of the Heron Guard at the persona of Faye Nothwin. What's next?
Hmm.
I expect we stay in the bathhouse for a while.
Suppose we don't have much knowledge to pool about how to vampire.
No.
I mean, we got a lot out of Faye Nothwin and Orsi, right? So we know that we need wood. We know that we need heart-destroying wood, and
Yeah,
we know
we
that we
need a
need
big-
sunlight.
A big pointy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
was
should
the-
go and stock up on steaks.
See if
Let's
we
go
can
to like
find-
a carpenter.
See if we can find. Yay. Because I think. You know how you get like a big hammer, like a mallet? I feel like that, but with a pointy end, is probably the size of thing that we're gonna need.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah,
like-
do you reckon we could get like a big mallet and then just point, like, whittle it into a point on one end, and then we have a reusable steak, right?
That's. I mean, I think that's the sort of size of thing. I don't know.
Aren't steaks reusable anyway?
Well, yeah, if
I
you
mean,
put
yeah,
that
true.
again.
Oh yeah, Buffy
Who
was
said
always
that?
using the
Yeah,
same one over
Buffy
and
was
over.
always recyclable steaks.
I mean, that's just environmentally friendly as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a steak with a handle. Get more of a swing.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, with a bit of leverage and whatnot.
Mm.
So I guess we're looking for a big wooden mallet then. Where do you get one of those?
The hardware store equivalent?
Bunnings and Sons.
Yes. Where is Bunnings and Sons?
We established there was a Bunnings and Sons, right? Or at least like a hardware shop.
There is a timber yard,
Yes, that's
lumber
right.
yard at 22
My Bunnings
on the
and
map.
Sons.
Yeah.
Should we perhaps visit the lumber yard? Maybe that's something
That's
that we
right.
can make
Oh.
ourselves useful with while Orsi
tent
I
is
might
think
have-
we should.
having a thing.
Yep. Okay,
Alright.
so the three of you head up to the lumber yard and you find that
Wallace and Gromit Grand Day Out plays.
yep, there's all kind of fencing material here to be found. By fencing, I mean just making a fence,
I was going to say
Yeah.
swords.
Mhm.
not stabbing
Yes.
each other.
Making a
Um,
fence is what Vidi does. Thank you.
Well done. Yes.
There's my joke from earlier.
So yes, and yes,
Why did the bard need nails and an hammer?
and fences, stakes are of course an important part of making a fence, as well as there are also tent pegs and pretty much any kind of wooden, long wooden pointy thing that you could possibly need.
Ooh, tent pegs are good. Definitely a violent little piece of equipment.
See, I wooden tent pegs. That's got to have been a thing, but I'm struggling to imagine it because I'm just
Yeah.
used to the small nylon bag of clinky things.
Yeah, I think originally there would be these big things that you would hammer into the ground, just a single.
They
great
wouldn't have
big
been like
whack.
iron, like a railway spike.
I think it depends on the tent and who owns the tent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like kings with their giant fancy tents, chilling on battlefields, had big.
You'd
thick
have to have
spikes.
metal tent pegs for a big one.
And they basically just built them a little tent house.
Hmm.
If historical television is to be believed, and
Oh, yeah,
naturally
'cause
it's
it's totally
historical, so
accurate.
it is to be believed. It's
So-
in the name.
In summary, you have sharp, pointy wooden things that qualify as stakes.
Perfect.
I'll take 50.
We probably have a weirdly specific conversation with Bunning or one of his sons, being like, so stakes, right? Are these in the traditional sense?
You know, So you need one that is roughly the diameter of a human heart.
Yeah.
Just like a fist. So we need like a fist.
It's not a big human. I
Size.
mean, theoretically. I mean, not that we're thinking of humans.
How large
But,
is
like,
the
about that
princess's heart
size.
anyway? No, you
I
don't.
know,
I'm
right?
going to assume you don't say that out loud.
No.
How large is the princess? Because that would depend on the size of the fist, which would depend on the size of the heart.
Yeah, we don't say
Like,
that.
is she a dainty lass or is she a swarthy lass? You know.
Well, no, she was dainty because she looked like she was 15.
Yeah, she is
Right,
relatively. She is
Slight.
slender and slight.
So we need a
Oh,
steak
so-
that's big enough to obliterate the heart of a teenager.
I mean, wouldn't that just be a cancelled One Direction concert or something?
Anyway, Dagmar is using her fist as a metric.
Yep.
Because she's got big
dwarf
little
fist?
fists.
Yeah, dwarf fist is a heart measurement.
Now they're going
Also
to
a
be
dwarf band.
they're going to be really cheap. So like $1 copper per steak, I'd say.
Mm.
In terms of how many, you are going to have to be able to carry these.
Hmm.
Something like 12 between us, like 3 each.
Dagmar's going to talk loudly about her whittling as she buys this, so it's like less weird. Also, she has plans to whittle the handle and make a really pretty steak.
The salesperson actually would like to see an example of your whittling.
Oh, yeah.
Dagmar will
beads.
flash. Yeah, because she's been whittling little hair beads for her
Excellent.
braids. So Dags is going to flash a bunch of her braids, which have been whittled to look like the little possums and birds that we've seen in the Feywilds.
She is immediately enamored of them. She is a gnome who says that, her sister was into that sort of thing too, but has returned to Gald and will then go into a long story about how old the tradition is, and that it's, although all cultures have some kind of wood carving, that's been very important in gnomish culture for a long time, but there's a concern that it's dying off and fewer people are doing it and so forth. And she goes on and on and on.
He's genuinely interested. He is listening.
Dagmar is also listening because dwarves, I believe, frown upon whittling, but Dagmar has found a lot of joy in whittling.
Excellent.
Also, you can do it on the go, which is not like, fucking smithing.
She'll actually offer to loan you a book on gnomish wood carving technique and patterns.
It's lovely. Dagmar accepts and is a little misty.
Okay.
Oh,
You have made a friend in the lumberyard
friend.
Yes.
by the name
Gnome-shaped
of
friend.
Yenna. Yener.
Yenna. Delightful.
Actually, write that one down.
I was there. I actually have a pen on my desk at this point.
Yo.
Buddy. Yes.
I love this. D&D, making friends.
Cool. And she says that she would like to see what you do with the steaks.
Maybe not
Yes,
that.
I'll make a beautiful decoy steak.
Slightly
I mean,
used.
a
Ignore
really
the-
pretty vampire staking
staining.
thing is so quite. I love that so much.
Mhm.
It's just polite to the vampire because they like beautiful things, and if you're gonna crush their heart, you should do it with something gorgeously
be
gothic
like-
and swirly.
Look, don't be too mad that I'm killing you and relieving you from eternal life, because, look at how pretty this is. I made it just for you.
Exactly. I wouldn't stake you with any old garden post. I staked you with something I made special.
Now I kind of want to change the rules of vampire hunting to say that the stake has to have personal significance to the target. But
Sorry, we can create it. And in 100 years, when Dags is writing her own vampire novel series, she will immortalize it.
Yes, you're probably about to become the foremost dwarven expert on vampires.
Yes.
Okay, you are staked up. The stakes are high.
Wonderful.
Someone
all right,
had
well,
to.
shall we? I mean, the All Gods Temple's just around the corner. Do we want to pop in?
Probably worth
We
it.
should-
eh?
We only saw him a couple of hours ago, didn't we?
Well, yes,
Like-
but he's down at Fane Othwin's temple next to Nod's guest house,
Yeah.
but the All Gods Temple is up here.
Oh,
And I figure
right.
the All Gods Temple may offer a wide range of varietals, regions, and ranges of holy water. Something that's, something with different tannins to like your standard Fane Othwin level.
That's a
Holy
good
water.
point. Well, I mean, yeah,
That's a good idea.
Certainly, if Brewing Lark was, I mean, that's vodka is what.
We should before we go out. Do we have little stoppered bottles? Because we should stock up on stoppered bottles before we go and get some holy water. And then
We
fill it
got
up
to the
and hide
potion
it on
shop
our
with that,
persons.
Aussie.
I'm assuming that you've held on to every potion vial that you've consumed.
Dax
So-
hasn't consumed any.
Okay. The rest of you.
Erica's has so many. Laid down
Dax
with empty
still
like
has
jars.
her like basic bitch health potion that she got in back in episode 2.
So apparently a cleric or paladin can create holy water by performing a special ritual.
Oh my god, yes, we have to get
So
drunk over it.
What are we going
I
here
mean,
then? Yeah.
We absolutely could, and I feel like the Brewing Lark ritual for holy water would be pretty special.
Is it vodka? Does it have to be holy vodka?
Well, it's about purity, you see, because that's the thing that gets on a vampire. Their problem with it is the purity of the thing.
So I'll
So
explain.
you're absolutely not mixing your holy water in this case.
I'll explain the mechanics of it. It takes 1 hour to create a single vial of holy water. It uses 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver as material costs, and it
Silver,
requires
that's
the
not
caster to
drinkable.
expend a first level spell slot, which I
Bit
believe.
expensive. We could
I've
just go
definitely
to
got
a
plenty of those.
bird bath full of.
But the buying holy water is probably going to cost more than the material
Oh.
cost of making it.
Oh, so store-bought is more expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
You
more,
should home make your holy water, but if you can't home make it,
Store-bought is
Store-bought is
fine.
fine.
so you could. So it's up to you, really. Are you going to buy it and have it ready ASAP, or have
I mean-
Morzod spend? Well, Morzod has 4 first level spell slots, so Morzod could produce 4 of these 4 vials of holy water per day at a cost of 25 gold pieces each.
Which
4
we've
is the
definitely got.
minimum that we need, and we all have
Yeah, I feel like
a decent
we
amount
all,
of gold,
Yeah, except
minus
Orsky.
the Aussie.
Yeah. So
Or,
look,
I mean,
I
you could actually spend more if you're happy to sacrifice higher level spell slots, of course.
well, I mean, as long as we can like stop and have a sleep before we go headlong into danger anyway, the spell slots are much of a muchness. We can do that.
I mean, we have no plans to run into the palace today, do we? Like, unless she
We're
actively seeks us out.
I
Well-
feel like we're doing the clever thing and planning ahead.
I assume you're
We're
having
trying.
this conversation sort of outside of the lumberyard as you're talking about whether to go to the temple or not, to decide whether to make them or buy them. At which point a glow comes and lands on whose shoulder? I'm going to roll to see whose shoulder glow lands on.
Roll for shoulders.
Morzod's got a big shoulder.
It's a beautiful
That's what I
landing pad.
It is Morzod's shoulder that
you
glow
go.
lands on. With
Oh, yeah, hello.
and you see that there is a note tied around Glow's leg.
Oh, wow. Is that for us, Glow?
Glow gives you an enthusiastic nod.
Okay. Well, Morzod is gonna very carefully, not to hurt the birdie, try and extricate this note,
Okay.
and we'll take a look.
It is a note from Orsi
Mm-hmm.
saying, doing things in library. Send Glow if you need me.
All right. So we're just gonna. So you're gonna stay with us, Glow.
Glow just puffs up and does the
Looks
old fluff
comfy.
and shake.
Mm-hmm.
We love a fluff and shake.
All right then. Morzod sort of, he doesn't get perched on often, but he seems to like respect that he is the perch. All right.
Excellent.
So,
Let's do some rituals.
right. Well, we're gonna have to go and find some really high grade vodka. Like the higher grade, the better.
High grade what? I missed that.
Vodka.
Vodka.
Ah, yes. Yeah. So, where do we find
As eye proof as we can get. Did we see anything about distilleries?
there are distilleries?
I haven't marked any on the map, but there must be some. Yes, there will be some. Probably
A beautiful holiday town like Heron's Perch.
Probably somewhere near one of the streams, because they'd want some access to fresh water for that sort of thing, I'd assume. Not that I really know
Yes.
much about this sort of thing.
You do need a lot of water.
Okay, that's what I thought. I know something!
Yes.
Now,
You do. Actually, you would probably enjoy the actual making of the stills and stuff, the chemistry.
The chemistry and the mechanics and
And
all
the
of
The
that.
stills are
history.
beautiful, and the
Let
history.
me tell you, I used to be a bit of a cocktail nerd, and the history and stuff is fascinating.
Look, honestly, most of what I know about it comes from MASH.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were in Scotland, Taylor signed us up for 6 whiskey distillery
I was gonna
tours,
say
and
to
I
be
was
whiskey.
like, oh my god! And then we got there, it was the most interesting thing ever. And by the 6th one, whenever the tour guide was asking, does anyone know why this happens? I'm like, me, I know.
Okay, so
Very nice.
you can go ahead and perform those rituals. So how about we take our break here, and hopefully April will be returned to us by the time we come back. Or we're planning on delaying the second half of the episode until April's able to rejoin us. So please don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a moment. And we are back. And April is back, which is wonderful news.
Hi.
April's had a bad day with lots of public transport issues. So our heroes are trying to work out what to do about the vampire princess of Heron's Perch. They have had Orsi was suddenly called away by a message delivered by Melville to the library. Our heroes had a conversation with Captain Turn of the Heron Guard, who they eventually told about all of their suspicions and what they know. Captain Turn decided to go to speak to the priest of Faenothwin that he knows as Fethweir to talk some more about possible plans of action and what to do next. Meanwhile, our heroes, 3 of our heroes went to the lumberyard to get stakes, wooden stakes. And
Okay,
they know
We
how to-
literally
actually
went
did.
to the hardware store.
Yeah.
You weren't kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So they
We
went
made
to
friends with the gnome there.
They went to Fantasy
Yep.
Bunnings. Dagmar met a lovely gnome who was all about wood carving and whittling.
They
And
nerded out.
She
It
lent
was-
me a book, Orsi. You're not back yet, but she lent me a book.
We're
And-
learning.
Glow arrived and landed on Morzod's shoulder with a note from Orsi saying that you're doing things in the library, but if you need anything, if you need Orsi urgently, then you can send Glow back, and Glow will come to you, Orsi, in the library. So, Orsi, I will quickly fill you in on what you've been up to.
Yeah.
So Cass basically summoned you back to the library via Melville, and revealed that he decided to stay behind because he wanted to do a little more research on, not so much on vampires, but on Faenothwin.
Interesting. Okay.
And Faenothwin's relationship, historical relationship with vampires and the history of vampire hunting, which Cass has sort of a vested interest in, because there are times where he has, as a joke, pretended to be a vampire because of his appearance. But he does have a sort of a passing interest in the lore behind vampires. So he has done some reading, and he basically reveals to you that he has found that Faenothwin, and especially the vampire hunters of Faenothwin, have had a reputation at times for being overly zealous, and basically going down the path of, once a person has been touched with the taint of vampirism, then there is no recourse. There is to be no mercy. They are to be slain without mercy, without a chance of reprieve. And that there has since been sort of a lot of historical questioning over how many innocents have died as a result. So Cass is basically just trying to gently say, maybe the god of I hate vampires is not an unbiased source of information about vampires.
Yeah, he's got a good point. Yeah, you have a good point. I mean, no, he's not my god. So, whatever.
So
Says Orsi.
He's basically had time to walk you through all of that, and now, Orsi, it's up to you whether you want to take this information back to back to the rest of your party, or wait for the rest of your party to either summon you or come find you in the library.
I mean, I don't know if Orsi knows where they are, so...
No, last you knew they were still in the Grumpy Swallow.
We went to the... Yeah. Orsi came with us to the Grumpy Swallow, and then he got called
messaged Captain, the captain last game, yes.
Yeah.
He'll wait for Glow. Yeah, he'll wait for Glow.
And the three of you can quite simply send a message with Glow saying, we are now at such a place. Yes, and that's where we left. We're looking for
vodka.
Yeah, that's where we left. We left it where they were acquiring vodka so that they could perform, so that Morzod could perform a ritual to create holy water, because they realized it'd be a lot cheaper to get a paladin to do it than to actually buy holy water at the temple.
Plus, he's going to get back and he's going to see like a pile of wood and some vodka and ask what everyone's been doing for the past 4 hours.
What did you guys get up to?
Wood and vodka.
So where are you performing the ritual?
Squire's Alley.
Fucking...
Yes.
Yay! That's my favorite place on the map.
Maybe the kids are gone.
We tried to take Captain Turn there, but there were kids playing dice in Squire's Alley, the pricks.
In the alley! That's unbelievable.
We had to go to the bathhouse.
Oh.
We took him for a bathhouse and we told him all about the vampires while we were having a schwitz.
Yeah, with the rubby duckies and everything.
Cool.
He was very uncomfortable.
Cool and secure and good, guys. Nice work.
Yeah, so
where's the ritual taking place? I'm taking notes.
He got the full serving of Morzod's bongos.
Surely we would have gone back to Nods to make holy vodka.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we'd be doing.
Yeah, because
not in the alley.
Each vial of holy water takes an hour, and you would like to not be interrupted in the process. Okay, so also,
what are we doing?
Also, you'll probably get a message from Glow saying, from the other three, saying to meet them at Nod's back at Nod's guest house.
The note says, "Buying vodka. Meet you at home. Bye."
We're playing a very intense game of Never Have I Ever.
Orsi will have no idea what that note means, and he will say goodbye to Cass. He's going to stick his head in his dad's office real quick. Is he there?
He is, yes.
Hi, Dad.
What was he?
I'm leaving.
Very well.
Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, off he goes.
Awkward.
I love them.
Baby steps, baby steps. All right, nods.
Yep.
Okay,
Make some holy drinks.
you find these three engaged in the Brew and Luck version of
Whatever ritual makes holy water.
Zindi, please tell us what Morzod is leading them through.
It's probably like ritualized beer pong. Like there are certainly rituals associated with drinking that probably would translate across into brew and lark rituals. So I feel like some kind of elaborate drinking game probably would be, but couched in sort of a bit of religious mysticism as well. It'd be weird, but still strangely entertaining, I think. But some form of oddly complex drinking game. And we're making the holy water with the purest vodka they could find, because obviously the purity is part of it, with the vampires and such. So we've got some really, really high proof vodka that we're working with here.
God.
Okay,
I'm not sure what we're doing with the powdered silver. I really am struggling to.
When was the powdered silver involved? Oh my god.
There's components.
It's a requirement.
It's a material
Right.
component for creating holy water,
So-
apparently.
I was going to ask if
99% isopropyl alcohol and silver and wood. Okay.
I feel like maybe can we swap it for gold, because that's edible.
Well, you
Are
actually-
we snorting silver?
I don't think we're supposed to be eating the vodka.
yeah,
the
Yeah,
I
vodka.
don't
I think you're meant to
No,
have
sure.
liquid as a result of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming
I
you're
think
not
we're
just
throwing it at the vampire.
Which
you know,
is why
Yeah.
we had to
pissing
get
it out.
extra vodka.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
that
that
would
could
be-
be. It takes an hour to process, doesn't it? Like,
I want Aussie to walk in on this exact conversation.
actually, Morzod pissing silver and vodka would be kind of.
Sounds like something he'd say is like you pissing silver and vodka.
Yeah. I'm
Is
so
that a metaphor?
I'm
It's
so
not.
Ollie. I'll piss silver and vodka. That's it kills vampires.
What are all of you doing? Please explain to me
Making
right now.
holy water. That's exactly
Yeah.
what we're doing. Sit down.
This
and
is God's
Have a-
business.
have a
Hey,
glass.
Aussie's back.
This is
Derek is
really-
Hey!
deep into the
I've been
vodka at this
gone.
point.
We're all drunk, right? At this point, the ritual requires
Yeah.
us to all be legless.
Listen, we got more vodka than the vials will turn out as. That's definitely for certain.
I see. And your plan is to what with this holy vodka? Isn't
It's
it supposed to be
only-
water?
It's holy water that's going to come out of this. I promise.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to have holy water for
You're
the vampire.
Max is also going to-
extracting.
Brandish the stakes. We got
Listen,
stakes and we got holy water.
We got steaks and we're getting holy water. We're preparing.
I've been gone for like 3 hours tops, and I think your plan is to kill the princess?
So far, that's about what we got. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going
Yes.
to bring her back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll just make Fane do it.
Uh-huh.
Well, we don't
I think
really
it's
have
so
any.
funny that you
We
give him a
don't really have
nickname.
any plans.
I don't know if we should like super keep involving. I mean, him.
Faith.
You know, Fat. Yes,
Eddie McGee.
that one, the lawyer. I don't know if we should like. I don't. Cass was doing some research at the library. It does really kind of seem like the vampire slayers that sort of worked with the god of the sun, justice, and truth did go a bit scorched earth.
I fucking knew it.
I mean,
What does that
Okay.
mean? Scorched? Like, did they burn shit?
I think.
yeah,
They
I think definitely burning.
probably quite literally with like sunbeams and things like that. Well, I mean, according to everything, because right, Cass likes to pretend he's a vampire sometimes, right? He loves it. He's super into it.
I guess
That's cute.
some people is
But-
into that. I mean, it's none of my business.
Yeah, Vatericus is super into that.
Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm pretty sure, just according to like the texts and stuff that he could find, like probably a lot of innocent people were killed up in these sort of vampire raids.
Oh,
Look,
that's
we're
bad.
not planning on raids or anything. Like we're just planning on the one.
It's less what we're doing specifically and more involving you know who, not the other you know who,
The
lawyer.
Well, okay, but I mean, is Brian going to come back to resurrect her?
I really
No.
I really
What do you
feel
mean?
like
I thought Morzod was going to be doing the
resurrection.
resurrecting. Is Morzod not
Can
resurrecting?
you resurrect?
What? I mean,
I'm sorry. So the crux of your plan was to ask the god of the sun and justice to bring back something that like goes against everything his sort of religion was built on.
No, because we're not
thought his-
resurrecting a vampire. We're resurrecting a princess who's been turned into a vampire. But hopefully, the resurrection will cure the vampirism.
That's sort of the catch of the whole thing that we were reading, right? Like once a vampire, you're done it. That's it.
You reckon he wouldn't forgive her, sort of thing?
I don't know. I don't really want
That's quite victim blamey, isn't it?
DM, didn't
Well-
we read that you could true resurrect to cure vampirism?
Yeah, I think we
Yes.
talked about it last week.
True resurrection, which is a very high level divine
Yeah, I
spell,
don't got that.
well beyond Morzod's capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's you know.
That's a good point, though.
It doesn't even need a body or part thereof. It
Needs
can
a-
create a new body.
needs a name.
Yeah. What if we got up to that point and then Feth says nah?
Yeah, right. You got turned into a vampire. Your problem. Stay
to
dead.
him.
Be really awkward.
Oh, Vatericus, because that goes so well every single time, doesn't it?
Every time I've talked to that asshole, he's done what I've needed him to do. He doesn't like me, but he does it because I'm always right.
Okay,
I guess.
Does Morzod know about the time that you tried to get him to be a counselor of Providence? Because that one didn't work.
That's a good point. Hey, you probably were in the room for that one.
I forget, but I know that you had a conversation.
so you're relying on the god who historically is people, doesn't like vampirism, to sort this one out in the end.
Well, it doesn't have to
Well,
be
we
him. I
didn't
assume
know
any of them
that.
can do it.
At the time.
I mean, I guess we could try
Don't
and nail
assume.
down someone else who does know how to do the thing.
It's a pretty high level
Yeah.
spell from what I understand.
Who's our adopted daughter? She could do it.
Our adopted daughter?
Asha, maybe?
Yes.
I
mean,
don't know that
she's
I
a
want her
goddess.
doing anything particularly attention drawing at this point.
Yeah, I feel we
Oh,
don't really
that's a
want
good
to
point.
bring
We're
her to
literally
where the vampire is.
Exactly. We're sitting in a seat of death. Engadon is probably. I mean,
She could do
other you know who is hanging around. We really have to come up with better names for all these gods whose names we can't really say because I guess they kind of hear it when we say their names, don't they?
Yeah, which is why we called he
what
who
Feth
must not
said.
be named Winston.
Exactly.
Now he's named that, though. Do you think he can hear it because we named him that?
Well, no, because his name's not really Winston.
Yeah, but it is to us, though.
Hey, he doesn't know that.
Does he?
I don't think so.
I mean, if we
Why
think
would
it's,
he?
if we think it's his name and we're using it to be his name, doesn't that make it his name?
I mean, we don't
I
puke
think
when
you
we
have to
say it, so I
agree to
think we're
something
fine.
being your name.
Is the holy water ready? And what are we using it for?
The
Holy
vampire.
water takes 5 hours.
Each vial takes an hour to make.
And costs
Listen,
I'm
one,
not-
one first level spell slot.
Oh.
Can I
So
only
the
piss
three of you
so
are just going to
hard.
sit here What? Wait.
It's a religion
not.
thing. It's a religion
It's not.
thing.
It's not.
Listen,
We
even-
are at
it's-
church
No,
right now. You
no.
should respect that.
Don't ask any questions. It kills the vampires.
Okay, but if you threw that on me, I'd probably not be very happy either.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't kill other things, but it definitely kills vampires.
Okay.
Dagmar is also a vampire?
I don't know. I guess we could find out.
Did he just admit to that?
But
I
we've
walked
seen
in
him
here without an
outside.
invitation. I've been in the sun. How dare you?
Yeah, I
Have you
suppose.
though?
Yeah,
I don't
but
remember you being in the sun.
We do.
I'm-
Yeah. It was a sunny
would
day
be
when we went
dead.
down and got the ice
No,
creams.
look, he's got a little freckle on the side
Wait.
of his
Oh,
chin.
no, I don't. Shut up.
Well, he's definitely proved that he's not a vampire. He's got a
Literally, when have you ever seen me eat, like, meat, let alone blood?
That's a good.
What
That's
would I
a
survive
really
on?
good
Clever
point.
ruse.
If we get into a fight with this vampire princess and I get bitten, I'm gonna die vampire because I'm not gonna be able to eat anything. Or I'm just gonna eat blood? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's.
So what's
Right,
what
but
are we
look, you-
so what are we doing? What are we doing?
So
We
well,
don't know what we're doing.
look,
That's why we're drunk.
we've been working on tools, and we was
Yep.
waiting for you to get back before we made any plans, because you're the one who's clever, and you'd probably hate whatever we came up with, because it probably involved just walking in the front door and sticking a stake in her.
Which
Yeah,
we
so-
did consider.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. Well, I am
I
banned.
want to talk to her. Why are we going straight to the stake? Surely there's a conversation to be had here at some level.
There is no-
Terracus's
there's
first
no
way.
plan was
Could
let's
we-
go in the palace.
Okay, you're
What
saying
would
we
you-
a lot. I am
What would
banned.
you- What would you say to her? Could you please stop being a vampire? We'd really appreciate it.
Well, no, ideally, I'd want her to kill Cova Fen, and then we would deal with her.
And then we'd get that. See, that's
Why would she kill
What
Cova
if
Fen?
she?
why would.
What if she accidentally made Cova Fen a vampire, and then Cova Fen would be like annoying and
Humans-
also a vampire?
I can't. Humans,
I'd have
when
to
they turn into
piss-
vampires,
I'd have to
No,
piss
they-
even more.
fine.
And
you shouldn't be allowed to live that long.
If Cova Fen gets turned into a vampire, then we know Cova Fen's weaknesses.
that's,
But we've already done all of this research. At the moment, I don't know if she's immune to having a stake driven through her heart.
she
I mean, I'm
certainly
not
didn't
immune to
die
having a
from
stake
having
driven through my heart.
Everyone is.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, she is a
all-
vampire. Thank
all
you.
of
We
us-
have established
All of us
that.
are a little susceptible to having our hearts smashed out, though. That is
Yeah,
true.
look, if you
Cova's-
put my fancy stake through my chest, I would be super dead.
So if Cova Fen
Yeah.
turns into a vampire, she's going to not only be an incredibly powerful undead creature, she's also going to be an incredibly powerful wizard. Now with even more undead magic
Is
at her
that how that
fingertips.
works? You get to stay a wizard if you become a vampire, does it?
I don't
Well,
see
the
why you'd
princess
lose
stayed a
being a wizard.
princess.
I don't know what the rules are.
But then she could only get us at night. We'd eliminate like hours and hours of the day where we could operate safely, as opposed to now.
Solid
when there's
12
just-
hours.
Yeah, there's just the constant threat of Cova Fen. Now we've got half a day.
And what's to stop her from casting magical darkness and simply ganking us whenever she wants if she turns into a vampire?
Pretty sure there's no spell that just summons darkness.
Is that how that works?
Yes, there is. There absolutely is.
Nah.
All sorts of
never
magics.
Never read of a spell like that.
You've never read a book, as far as I know. Anyway,
Yeah, good point.
Oh, Ozzy, look
Alright,
at this
yeah.
book I borrowed.
you got a book. What is it?
Yeah, this nice old gnome lady lent me her sister's book on, like, the history of gnomish whittling and
Oh,
woodwork.
yes. You have been picking up whittling, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's been
I'm going to
lovely,
make so
eh?
much cool stuff. And I'm going
Hey.
to whittle some beautiful stakes for us to kill vampires with.
Gorgeous. Lovely use of time. Get productive. So,
Help however I can.
But look,
We've been
you-
sitting
you
here
are right.
for
We shouldn't,
an hour.
We shouldn't assume that, what's his face is just going to resurrect
the
us.
lawyer. Yes.
Why don't I just go and talk to one of the other ones?
Oh, God.
Do you think that they wouldn't consult? Isn't the lawyer also the head cleric?
I think
Is that
it
not-
probably-
No, not one of the other ones down at the law firm. One of the other, ones that when we say their name, they hear us.
Oh, you mean another god, not another
Yeah.
cleric of the sun?
Yeah, no,
Do you
no, no.
know
Fuck
other
that guy.
ones, or are you planning on making friends with a new one?
Because I don't think Gemdan's going to
Making
get in
friends.
on this business.
No. I have a thought.
Can all gods resurrect?
Well, that's what I want to know. So that's what I'm. With the team's permission, I'm going to go have a chat to one of them.
Which one?
Like,
Which
Yeah.
one? Because we're going to have
Probably-
to make plans about who we have to possibly defend ourselves against when they come back really pissed off.
yeah,
Morzord
that's
is
a good
correct.
point.
Fair point.
Which one?
Nessid Clathy.
I knew you were going to say Nessid Claythy. God damn it,
I mean,
Vitericus.
she was all right.
She's fine.
I like
She's nice, actually.
her.
She was nice. She was pretty, and she had lots of birds.
I don't think she's gonna continue to like us if we continue to push everyone like this.
Well,
Push everyone.
yeah.
They're gods. They can earn their keep around here for a bit.
I do agree with that. They seem to
I have
sort of.
I have no qualms. I'm not a holy man. It's not my problem.
I mean, I think we'd have to be pretty decent at praying, though, to get her to pay attention and come and say hello.
Also, you're a paladin.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm not. I don't
You're a
know.
holy man.
I don't know how to pray to other gods in the way that they like being prayed to.
One does seem to be like extra snooty when you talk about doing anything for Brian.
I mean,
they's all a bit snooty about Brian. That's just.
Clayton likes birds. Glow's a bird, kind of. Aren't you, Glow?
She's shaped like a bird.
He's bird
Yeah, maybe she'll talk to you if you appease her with Glow. That sounds like I'm going to sacrifice her.
Yeah, no, don't sacrifice Glow.
You're offering the
Sorry,
bird.
that's not what I was getting at.
I don't know if she would be stoked if you tried to sacrifice any bird, let alone your favorite bird.
I did not. That's not what I meant. Don't twist my
Why don't we
words.
try the easy way first, and I'll just draw her symbol somewhere and have a chat.
I will get
Go for it.
religion checks from Vitericus and Morzod.
Religion's really bad, though.
Have
We
a
have
a
tea.
the low.
-1.
It's perfect. Never change it. Never, ever, ever.
-1 with a natty 1. 0.
Yay!
Okay,
The god man.
Morzod,
Judge.
you have a great idea.
I'm really drunk at this point.
What if Orsi polymorphed Vitericus into a bird?
Yeah,
Oh, shit,
actually,
that's a good idea.
Morzod excitedly explains exactly this. But then
I know.
halfway
Yeah,
through
that
the
sounds great.
explanation, he feels the call of nature and must go make a vial.
I thought you were joking.
So he Exion stage left. For
He's like
10
a
minutes.
Kwangdong. It has to go through an emu.
Yeah, exactly. The only one that has to go through an emu first.
Vitericus, with your
Yes.
18 on your religion check, you remember that the last time you saw Nessid Claythish, she was on a different plane,
Yes.
which might make her harder to contact than other gods.
Maybe, but I mean, it's her or Ashruith, and I don't really want to talk to Ashruith, so...
Hence, dressing up like a bird.
There are other
I
gods
mean, you can-
in the pantheon.
You know what? Why don't we just try Gemdatin, huh? How about just him? He's straightforward. He tends to answer questions generally. Mostly haven't pissed him off. Mostly. How about that?
Morzod sticks his head in from the other room and says, I don't know about that. Didn't he try to blow you up at least once?
That was a warning shot, and the original time, it wasn't him. I think a warning shot with us is valid.
That's fair. All right.
Gemdana did
That
nothing
is
wrong as far
character
as I'm
growth.
concerned.
That is.
That's right. I'm growing. I'm learning. So, how about
Well
it?
done, Ossie.
Thank you.
Sure. I mean, if Gemdanin can do it, we'll use Gemdanin.
Well, wait, what are we? We're not asking him to resurrect anybody. We're just asking him, can gods resurrect, right?
Well, can he specifically, right? We
It's
need
like
one who
it's
can
like an
resurrect.
opening question.
I don't think he's going to resurrect anybody, but we can ask. Okay.
All right, off you go.
Should we
Ask.
head? Should we head down to the harbour, or should we just do it here? Or
I don't think it's going to matter too much. Just ask him.
all right.
Well, Morzod's peeing around the corner, so it kind of feels like the docks.
Oh, yeah.
And I assume Vitericus and Dagmar are waving, like, just sort of wobbling ever so slightly, so it looks like we're on a
Yeah.
ship.
Okay. All right, then we'll see who has his
Like,
shitty
it's
necklace
like
of Gemdanin that he
parallaxing
bought.
going on.
Yeah. He's gonna hang on to his little bottle of lightning.
Mhm.
And Gemdanin? Are you listening? Are you there? I have a question.
Give me, it is going to be just a charisma check.
Oh, beans.
Bollocks.
Just a charisma check.
Yes, please.
Does he get advantage because he's surrounded by drunk people and people who are pissing?
It's
that
just
more of
like
a real life
the
thing?
ducks. It's
There
beautiful.
are circumstances that
Wow.
might have given
Overlay.
him advantage, but there are other circumstances that have removed that advantage. So it's just a
That's
straight
fair.
roll.
I'm sorry, charisma?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I had to find that on my... Oh, that's good. 19.
Hey. Hey.
Nice
Oh.
work.
Good dice. Keep those ones.
Okay. Orsi, you do not hear a response, but you suddenly get the feeling that someone is listening to you.
That's new.
Okay. Morzord! That's mean! Right.
Lazard is a sassy drunk.
I mean, spicy.
Okay, look, it's not really I don't really have a prayer or anything, but we are in a bit of a pickle with a vampire, and we were wondering if you or all the gods have the ability to resurrect people, or is that just a one god kind of thing?
Okay.
And if you're still listening, I stopped running. Yeah. How about that? Okay, I'm done now.
Nice callback.
Okay. What's this going to be?
Nods catches fire from an electric
Explodes.
I was going to say,
I'm
make
so
this-
scared.
It's an electrical fault.
I was wondering whether to make you do a persuasion roll, but I see that your persuasion bonus is 0. So it would just be a charisma roll anyway.
Yes. Is that what I'm doing?
You got your 19.
Yes, just give me another
Does he
charisma
get
roll with
advantage for a sassy
advantage.
callback?
Charisma with advantage. For circumstances. For reasons.
You stopped running.
17 and a
Done some
2.
personal work.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Whew.
Okay.
Good dice. Good dice.
All right. So, voice comes back. A deep, booming, rumbling voice that you recognize. Only in your head. The others can't hear it. It simply says, any one of us might be able to do this. There is a cost, of course. And that is all you hear.
He's really, he's very straightforward. Well,
Well.
good news, Vitericus. Any god can resurrect. But he very cryptically said there's a cost, so I don't know if that means diamonds or, like, life.
Life diamonds.
Cost. People have been
Morzard.
telling me about the cost of doing business for ages. Hasn't stopped me in the past.
Morzard reappears with a vial that's kind of silvery and shimmery, clutched in one fist, and he doesn't explain anything about that. But he overheard the end bit about the cost. He says, resurrecting with a cost. I wonder what happened with me then.
It's probably best not to dwell on it. I'm sure it was nothing.
It's probably nothing. I don't remember.
Probably just a diamond
when you
or something.
when you think about it, actually, maybe that's what's happened.
I'll get... No, I won't get a roll from Morzod. Morzod, you know enough about spells, having been a cleric, to know that there's sort of different. There are different levels of, bringing someone back, and there's a third level spell called Revivify that is quite cheap to cast. In that it only requires 300 gold worth of diamonds, which is the kind of thing that a god might have just hanging about as in case of emergency, especially one who frequently parties and is in a situation where people might succumb, have accidents and so forth, and he wants to be ready
That's-
to help.
I guess that's kind of fair.
But Revivify only works on someone who's died within the last minute, which is what happened to you.
Yeah. Is it minute or 10 minutes?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He ran over very
because
quickly.
that's the one that we ran out of time with for the plant-eaten lady. Because
yes.
One that Vitergus killed, yes.
Yeah.
We talked to.
She was well. No, I wasn't talking. Mozart was healing the father.
He had a crisis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
but she was dead for more than which is why Mozart kind of panicked because she was well dead.
So there's Revivify, then there's Resurrection, which you think is probably going to have a much higher material cost, and then because you're talking about
Revivify is actually the one that if I recall, because I did read all of this when Mozart was freaking out. Revivify is actually not super expensive, but requires the inside a minute. Revive is the one that does take the diamond, but has a much longer window of possibility.
There's Resurrection, which is a higher level spell.
There's
and is much more
Revivify,
costly.
Resurrection, True Resurrection.
And then there's True Resurrection, which is a very high level spell and is therefore requires even more material.
Insanely
expense.
expensive.
Mozart's idea of Revive, because Ozzy at the time was saying, "Don't you know Revive?" And Mozart was like, "I was taught about it, but in a sort of, but you'll never use this because who the fuck has a diamond?" So, it was a theoretical revive that he learnt about, which was part of why he didn't do it for the lady.
So, is that a yay or an A on the god thing for Terracus?
Well, I mean, that's fine, right?
A god, or is
They
it
can all-
going to be Mozart?
If they can all do it.
I can't do. I definitely cannot do the big revive that you need to bring a vampire back. Definitely cannot. I am.
Because if we kill her and then we simply revive her,
Not
she's going to be a
that
vampire
holy.
still, right?
I don't know how that
Vampire still
works.
if we do that.
I mean, we won't have a body
that
at
what
that
you
point because she'll be
said
ash.
yesterday?
Yeah, I think that's the significant problem there, because you got to
Right.
you got to have material.
It'll be a
But
small pile of dust.
the really big one, you don't have to have anything left, I think.
Planning session has gone nowhere.
It's not true. We know that any
have
of them can do
holy
it, so
water.
I can just call out to any of them and get them to do it. That's fine.
Hopefully. And if they don't respond quickly, I mean, there's not really a time limit on True Resurrection per se,
Correct.
to my understanding.
200 years.
But what do we do? No, 200 years. Well, geez. I mean,
certainly appropriate.
Oh, fine.
It's important for Orsi. That is well, within Orsi's lifetime.
I mean, I don't really want to be stuck carrying around a jar full of princess dust anyway. If none of the gods respond in the moment, what do we do?
Yeah,
We've just murdered a royal. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
That's
We're just going to walk out of the palace with princess dust?
And we don't even need the dust, do we?
I mean-
We just leave.
Is that what we're doing?
I feel like
Because that's going to play right into Tarth's hands, I feel, if they're trying to frame us for stuff. Look, they've just murdered the princess. Oh, look, they just started the war in Providence. Oh, good grief, they're horrible. Kill them.
That is a good point.
And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back next week to find out how or whether our heroes are going to deal with the vampire as they start to get an idea of what Kovafen's motivation for all this could be. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in a week.